The following is a presentation of the Game Time Sports Network. From beautiful Cleveland State, Tennessee, on the campus of Cleveland State Community College, this is Cleveland State Baseball. And now it's game time.
Yes, indeed, folks. Once again, it is game time. I'm Jay Harper, Game Time Sports Network, and we are excited once again to be joining you from the campus of Cleveland State in Cleveland, Tennessee for Cougars baseball as they once again welcome the Pioneers of Volunteer State, Gallatin, Tennessee. And it's another TCCAA conference matchup. A beautiful day once again here in Cleveland, Tennessee. Currently, we are looking at 72 degrees. Whoa, we've gone up to 74 now. We're looking for a high of 83 degrees here today in Cleveland. Let's prepare now for our national anthem, and we'll get to the starting lineups. Well, I was under the impression we were headed to the anthem. Of course, as soon as I start these starting lineups, they'll get the anthem going here. We don't want to show disrespect to that, but let's try here. What do you say? Leading off for Volunteer State, they are led by, let's go ahead and get the hierarchy here. Jim McGuire, the longtime head coach who recently celebrated his 500th victory. Quite an accomplishment. Gabe Jennings, the assistant. Trevor Mutzi, the pitching coach. The Pioneers, they are 13-16 overall, 5-11 in the conference. And that fifth win coming yesterday. An exciting comeback victory for the Pioneers as they figured out Max Owen after he was the pitcher for the Cougars. They figured Max out in the third time through the order. But let's go ahead and get to the starting lineup here quickly. Braden Baker leading things off for the Pioneers. He's in left. Batting second, Elijah Harris playing second. Batting third, Easton Denning, and he's playing first base. Hudson Blank out in right field, cleanup hitter. Tucker Smith's at third, batting fifth. Batting sixth, it's Noah Rice. He's the center fielder. Batting seventh, the DH, Gabe Eddington. Batting eighth, it's Tucker Lorenz. He is the shortstop. Batting ninth is the catcher, J.C. Menendez. And on the mound for Vol State, we'll get to his stats when he takes the hill later, is Owen Boswell. The Cougars on the mound, they have the strikeout leader in the conference taking the hill today. That is Braden Suggs. Braden, he is leaving the conference, as I said. 62 strikeouts coming in today, leading in strikeouts for the TCCAA. He is 3-0 for his record. This will be his eighth start, and he brings a 4.73 ERA into today's game. And I do believe we are ready for the anthem. We are about ready to get underway here. As we mentioned, Braden Suggs, the pitcher, to start things off for the Cougars on the mound. And behind the plate, as was the case yesterday, that would be number 14, Jordan Smith, handling the catching duties once again. Braden Suggs, a right-handed fire baller. He is from Knoxville, a sophomore, right-hander at 6'1". And as we mentioned, Braden Baker. So Braden against Braden, even though they spell things differently. Braden Baker, the leadoff batter, has a Y in there. And Braden Suggs, the pitcher, he is Y-less. Braden Baker hoping to not get plunked today. He was hit by a pitch twice yesterday with two different pitchers. He did have a double, though, to left field. Braden will step in with a .347 batting average. He tied for the lead on the team in homers with 7. And again, he'll be followed by the second baseman, Elijah Harris, and the first baseman, Easton Denning. All right, we're ready to get some ball going here. Jay Harper, Game Time Sports Network, happy to join you as we kick things off for today's doubleheader. And here is Braden Baker. And the first pitch is wild. So not the way you want to start things off. Just getting some nerves out, right? That's all Braden Suggs is doing. Got the adrenaline going. Pitch number 2 is swung on and lifted out to right field. And that is Mahan, Riley Mahan, that makes the catch. He in right field today. 1 out. Here is Elijah Harris, the second baseman. And that is a ground out to short as John Reed collects it. 2 down quickly here. Easton Denning, the first baseman, now stepping in. Easton batting .280 today as he comes into the game. 7 homers on the year. And he takes a smack at the first pitch he sees, and Mahan collects that one. So an easy first inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Pioneers as we move now to the bottom of the first on the Game Time Sports Network.
It's Jay Harper. Join me and Nashville radio legend John Bozeman, known as Johnny B, as we gab about all things radio, entertainment, and music in the Circling the Drain podcast. We share stories and experiences from our more than 90 combined years of being in the biz. Yeah, we're old. Come along for the ride. You never know where it may take you. It's the Circling the Drain podcast, available every Wednesday morning on all podcast platforms.
The bottom of the first inning is about to commence. John Reed will lead things off as he did yesterday. John hitting .444 now, one of the conference leaders in batting average, as he takes a swipe at the pitch from Owen Boswell. Boswell is a sophomore from Munford, Tennessee. Lefty, as you can see. And a good fastball. This is Boswell's 5th start of the season. He comes in with a 4.42 ERA. 1-0 record on the season. And the fastball a bit high. The 2-1 now is there, inside corner, 2-2. We go full now on the leadoff hitter for the Cougars. Base on balls to lead things off. And we now turn to Nolan Sargent. Nolan continuing to be one of the top hitters in the conference, still leads the conference in home runs. He has 13. The left-handed hitting second baseman for the Cougars looks at a first pitch ball from Owen Boswell. The pitch now from Boswell misses low and inside. And the catcher, Menendez, J.C. Menendez, wants to just have a chat, see something he's not particularly liking. Menendez, he is a sophomore from Miami, Florida, the catcher. A 2-0 count now on the second baseman, Nolan Sargent. Evan Leonard, the DH, waiting on deck. And the pitch is high. Going 3-0 on Sargent. With the leadoff batter, John Reed, on first after the walk. The southpaw delivers and gets the strike call. 3-1. And we go full now. So Boswell working back from the 3-0 count to go 3-2. Reed at first is a base stealing threat. And down on strikes goes Sargent. So from 3-0 to a strikeout on this dangerous hitter. One down. Good fastball from Boswell. Here is the DH, Evan Leonard. Evan also catches from time to time. And they've got Reed hung up. And he, with the base running mistake, accounts for the second out. So what started out as a bit of a shaky inning for Boswell, and now he's got himself in a pretty good spot here. The fastball misses. He walked the first runner and then went 3-0 on the power hitting Nolan Sargent. Strikes out Sargent, and then Reed gets himself picked off. That pitch outside. The 2-1 coming now from the lefty Boswell. And Leonard can't catch up to the fastball on the outside portion. A 2-2 count. Should Evan reach, it's the cleanup hitter, Nelson McKnight. Just a bit high. And maybe a touch outside as well. So, full count once again for the second consecutive hitter. And the breaking ball misses. So Boswell has walked two batters in the inning. But he is still close to getting out of trouble here if he can get past McKnight. And first pitch strike. That is fouled out of play. McKnight in the 0-2 hole. And lifted foul. Still at 0-2, of course. And just getting a little bit of it. 2 outs, runner on with Evan Leonard at first after being walked. And the lefty delivers. And down on strikes. So 2 strikeouts, 2 walks in the inning, and a pickoff move. Bring us now to the top of the second inning on the Game Time Sports Network. that is outside. This is the right fielder, Hudson Blank, at the plate. And he smacks it over to Sargent at second. And the toss to McKnight for the out. Here is Tucker Smith. Tucker, the third baseman. And he pops it foul and hits the umpire. And a good fastball from the pitcher, Suggs. And the strike call. And can't reach that pitch as he swings through it for the strikeout. So Smith down on strikes, 2 away. And that brings up the center fielder, Noah Rice. Noah with his 5th home run yesterday. Really lit a spark into this Vol State offense yesterday. And he takes a swipe at the first pitch. Sargent scoops it up, flips it to McKnight for the out. Let's move along now to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Stepping up to the plate for the Cougars is Quade Carver. Quade, third baseman. And that pitch up and out of the zone. Quaid, a freshman from Knoxville. He comes in hitting .365. He's got 9 homers on the year. 28 RBIs coming into today. Looks at a good fastball, but it misses. After Carver, Hank Adams, the left fielder, and then it's the catcher, Jordan Smith. And the base on balls. That's the third walk issued by Boswell. He's not gotten burned yet with the bases on balls. Hank Adams, the batter now. Hank hitting .339 with 3 homers on the year. Hank is a sophomore from right here in Cleveland. And the pitch high. Menendez had to jump out of his crouch to corral that. A runner on, nobody out. As Adams steps back in with a 2-0 count. And he gets the outside corner call, 2-1. Jordan Smith, the catcher, is waiting on deck. Hank had a double to right yesterday. He drops down a bunt. And the throw off the mark at first base. Denning can't control the catch. So the error on a bunt allows Hank Adams to reach second base. 2 runners in scoring position now with nobody out. Here is Jordan Smith, the catcher. And a first pitch swing, foul. The 0-1 from the lefty, Boswell. Man, thought about pulling the trigger, held up and gets the strike call. 0-2 now. Riley Mahan, the right fielder, waiting on deck. Hit to second, and the run does score. So the sacrifice grounder, if you will, puts one across the plate for the Cougars in the bottom of the second. Adams advances to third, and the batter is the right fielder, Riley Mahan. Riley shows bunt. Riley from Knoxville, a sophomore, plays a variety of positions aside from outfield. He also plays first base and does a bit of pitching. Good pitch, but missing. Boswell only at 5'10", but he does have some heat on that fastball. Big hips, big legs, where he draws the power. He's listed at 205. And fouled back by Mahan. Due up next, the center fielder, Nate Severance. And fouled straight back. He's timing it right, just a little under it. Runners on third base, a runner on third base. That's Hank Adams. Mahan hanging tough. A 2-2 count with one down. Hit over to third. And the on-target throw by Smith to Denning records the second out. Nate Severance, the center fielder, at bat now. And the pitch outside. I think Boswell was trying to snap off a breaking ball, and it just kind of slipped out of his hand. Here comes the 1-0 now. And he gets the strike call there. A little high in the zone, but he gets the call to Severance. Nate listed at 5'10". He is from Murfreesboro, a sophomore. Severance hitting .307. Also has 3 homers on the year, 4 doubles. The catcher Menendez wanted that pitch. It did look pretty good. Must have been low or maybe a little inside. 3-1 count with 2 outs and a runner on third. We're full now on Severance at 3-2. Lifted out to left field. That's Baker drifting under it. And he makes the catch to retire the signs. So a fly out to left ends the inning for the Cougars as the top of the third coming up in this doubleheader day on the Game Time Sports Network. Gabe Eddington, the designated hitter, the batter. And the first pitch from Braden Suggs is a strike. Outside. Gabe the DH. Tucker Lorenz, the shortstop. He's on deck. Swung on. And bobbled at third. Carver can't handle it. So the error allows Eddington to reach first for the shortstop, Tucker Lorenz. Tucker, a rough day at the plate yesterday, 3 strikeouts. Tucker has a couple of homers on the season with 13 runs batted in. And the throw over to first, making sure Eddington stays put. Hit well out to right, but that is foul and not playable. There's some folks in lawn chairs, and it landed in their lap. The 0-2 pitch now from Suggs, and another strikeout for Lorenz. The catcher, J.C. Menendez, the first time we've seen him this weekend. As we mentioned previously, J.C.'s a sophomore coming from Miami, Florida. Hit to Reed at short. And the throw is good to McKnight for the out. We are back to the top of the order with Braden Baker, who flied out to right in his first trip. Gabe Eddington on second base. The first pitch from Suggs is swung on and up the middle. This is going to score a run. So the RBI single brings in Eddington for Braden Baker. The number 2 hitter, Elijah Harris. Harris from Cynthiana, Kentucky. Smith smothers that one behind the plate. That is catchable, playable, as McKnight is able to get to it over near the fence, past the dugout for the third out. So the score tied as Harris fouls out. We'll move to the bottom of the inning. With the Cougars open, they can break this tie on the Game Time Sports Network. We're back to the top of the order in the bottom of the third. It's John Reed, the shortstop, to be followed by Nolan Sargent and Evan Leonard. Reed walking in his first at bat, then got himself picked off first base. Boswell delivers. And I don't know where that pitch was, but the ump didn't think it was a strike. Must have been inside. Well hit out to left field. That one is out of here. A monster blast from the shortstop, John Reed. Gives the Cougars a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the third with nobody out. A solo homer brings Jim McGuire out, and he is going to make an early pitching change. Owen Boswell's day is done. Surprisingly early. That's Reed's fourth homer on the year. His 16th RBI. Had a .444 average coming into today. And was actually fifth in the conference in batting average with that .444. Our new pitcher is Jake Truitt. Jake's a freshman. Went to Good Pasture. He used to do some radio broadcasting for their games a long time ago. Anyway, Jake is listed at 6'4", from Madison, Tennessee, right there in the Nashville area. This will be his 6th appearance. 12 1/3 innings of work thus far this season. He's got 10 strikeouts in those 12 1/3 innings. He started a couple of games this year, brings a 1-2 record and a 9.49 ERA. But of course, you know, a reliever, heck, he can just have one bad inning and that ERA will look kind of ugly. So, especially having only 5 appearances up to this point. So really not going to look at that ERA too intently here. Here is Nolan Sargent. Nolan has been held in check thus far this weekend. Yesterday, he didn't have a hit, reached on an error, and he struck out his first at bat here today. And the first pitch from Truitt is a ball. Missing outside, 2-0. Due up next is Evan Leonard, the DH. And a foul ball to go 2-1 to Nolan Sargent, the conference home run leader with 13. Evan Leonard was the second batter in home runs with 11 yesterday, but Tyler Groves with Southwest hit one yesterday, and he has 12 now. I covered Southwest for a couple of years, and Tyler's a fine player. Admired his play last year. Lifted out to center field. Chasing it down, and it keeps drifting, and a fine catch by Rice. As he drifted out in left center, had to run a long way to haul that one in. So Sargent is retired on the flyout. Here is Evan Leonard. He walked his first time up. He's the DH in this first game of the doubleheader. First pitch misses low. And Leonard wanted to pull the trigger. You could see him yell at himself after he let that pitch go by. That was a called strike. 1-1. Good fastball from Truitt. Blows past Leonard. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The cleanup hitter, Nelson McKnight, is the on-deck batter. The 1-2. Skips away from Menendez, but nobody on base. The strikeout. 2 down. That does bring up McKnight. He struck out his first time up when Owen Boswell was on the mound. Nelson hitting .319. Got those 6 homers. Shows bunt, pulls it back, but it's a strike as it crosses the plate. Swinging through that low pitch. Trying to golf it. can see the shortstop Lorenz there, number 7. He's playing straight up. But it is pulled to the right side. And Harris flips it to Denning for the third out. So after the home run, Truitt comes in, takes care of business to retire the sides. It's the top of the 4th now on the Game Time Sports Network.
It's Jay Harper. Join me and Nashville radio legend John Bozeman, known as Johnny B, as we gab about all things radio, entertainment, and music in the Circling the Drain podcast. We share stories and experiences from our more than 90 combined years of being in the biz. Yeah, we're old. Come along for the ride. You never know where it may take you. It's the Circling the Drain podcast, available every Wednesday morning on all podcast platforms.
It's the first baseman, Easton Denning, to the plate now to begin the top of the inning for the Pioneers. The pitch from Suggs, swung on, hit out to center field. It's playable and hauled in by Severance. 1 pitch and 1 out. Hudson Blank grounded out to second base in his first at bat. He now the batter. Outside from Suggs. Fouled back behind us. Gets the strike call. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down. Tucker Smith, the third baseman, is the on-deck batter for the Pioneers. The 1-2, swung on, hit out the gap. And that, gap, over the fence gap. It's a bomb to tie things up. That is Hudson Blank over the fence for the solo blast. John Reed hits a homer to go ahead for the Cougars, and Blank, he won't have a blank spot on his scorecard as he hits the blast out to right field to tie us at 2. Here's Tucker Smith, who struck out his first at bat. He's the third baseman. The 0-2. And trying to frame it was Smith, but it was outside. Smith with 3 homers thus far this season. And swings through that. Can't catch up to the fastball. That's his second K of the day. Noah Rice, the batter now. Noah, a freshman from right there in Gallatin. Went to Station Camp High. I was going to say that's a new high school. It's not new anymore. It was new, and I think that came online around 2005, 2006, somewhere along there. So it's been there a while. The 2-0 pitch, and it's a strike. With 2 outs, the pitch from Suggs gets the strike call. It goes 2-2. That will end the inning as Noah Rice is retired via the strikeout. As we move along to the bottom of the 4th, this is the Game Time Sports Network coming to you from the campus of Cleveland State. Quade Carver, the batter for the Cougars. The Cleveland State third baseman. He walked in his first at bat. And he looks at a strike. Swung on and fouled. Jake Truitt still on the hill for Coach McGuire and the Pioneers. He comes in relief of Jake Truitt, or no, this is Jake Truitt. He comes in relief of Owen Boswell last inning. The 2-2 count. And the strikeout as Quade is retired, one away. Hank Adams, the batter now. He reached on a bunt. Jordan Smith, the catcher, the next batter due up. Right up the middle. And the throw gets him. Hank Adams, not the most fleet of foot. Well, at least there anyway. So the ground out. 2 down. Jordan Smith, the catcher. He is the batter now for the Cougars. Swings through the first pitch. Another strike. Truitt is putting him over the plate. Two outs and an 0-2 count now on the Cougar catcher, Jordan Smith. And the breaking ball misses. That one skips past Menendez. A full count now. Here comes the 3-2, the payoff from Truitt. Misses outside. Smith reaches. Riley Mahan, the batter now. He grounded out to third in his first plate appearance. Dribbler, and the third baseman Smith can't handle it. So Mahan reaches. Nate Severance, the center fielder, steps to the plate. Nate flied out to left field. 2 runners on with 2 down. And that wild pitch advances both runners to the next base. So 2 in scoring position. Nice pitch that finds the plate. Smith at third. And Mahan at second base. Outside corner, strike. From the stretch now, 2 outs, 2 on, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that gets past the catcher Menendez and in to break the tie with the head first slide is the catcher Smith. The wild pitch puts the Cougars ahead with 2 outs. Mahan also advancing. He now at third base. So a full count now on Severance. Hit well, but that is slicing foul. Down on strikes goes Severance. That will retire the sides, but a passed ball, wild pitch, breaks the tie as we move to the top of the 5th inning on the Game Time Sports Network. Cougars now with a 3-2 lead. Good fastball. The batter is Gabe Eddington. And it's a strike call. Gabe, the designated hitter. And sneaks through between second and first for a solid hit. Leading off the inning with a single is Eddington. Tucker Lorenz, the batter, looking to redeem himself. The weekend has not been kind to Tucker at the plate. Struck out his last at bat, struck out 3 times yesterday, and tries to drag a bunt down, and it rolls foul. Sounds like they're drag racing on I-75. That bunt is good. Right back to Suggs. So the runner advances. A nice sacrifice laid down nicely by Lorenz. J.C. Menendez, the number 9 hitter, the plate. He grounded out to short, his first at bat. Suggs delivers, and that is going to tie us back. The single from Menendez puts us back at a tie ball game at 3-3. A clutch hit with the runner in scoring position as Eddington crosses the plate. Back to the top of the order with Braden Baker. He singled his last time up. And he singles this time up. First pitch swinging. And a single to left field now. And the balls get away from the first baseman. So we got guys running all over the place. Just one out with runners now on second and third. Assistant coach Caleb Orr. This one, I believe, just to kind of give Suggs a bit of a break. Maybe a little shell-shocked here. Something similar happened yesterday in yesterday's game where the Cougars were ahead 2-0. And then the Pioneers just exploded for 5 runs in the 5th inning. They had figured Max Owens out, yesterday's pitcher, as they went through the 3rd time in the order. They started to come around, and we're seeing kind of a repeat of that, at least thus far here, against Suggs. First pitch swinging. That seems to be somewhat of a strategy here as well, as the Pioneer hitters seem to have, that first pitch, the best one you're going to get from Suggs, so be looking to offer at it. One ball, one strike with one out. 2 runners on, both in scoring position. Elijah Harris, the batter, he can't catch up to that. That brings the count to 1-2 with Easton Denning waiting on deck. And Sargent able to make the catch and double off Menendez at third. So saved defensively, as with 1 out, the Pioneers had 2 runners in scoring position and in a position to maybe bust things open. But that not the case, as Elijah Harris lines out and Menendez doubled off of third for the final 2 outs. Let's head now to the bottom of the 5th inning. This is the Game Time Sports Network.
It's Jay Harper. Join me and Nashville radio legend John Bozeman, known as Johnny B, as we gab about all things radio, entertainment, and music in the Circling the Drain podcast. We share stories and experiences from our more than 90 combined years of being in the biz. Yeah, we're old. Come along for the ride. You never know where it may take you. It's the Circling the Drain podcast, available every Wednesday morning on all podcast platforms.
The top of the order back up for the Cougars, and that is John Reed. He's had a homer here today and also reached on a walk. Nolan Sargent and Evan Leonard to follow him. First pitch from Truitt is outside. And that one must have been a little low. Hit sharply but foul. Nice crowd out here on a very sunny, there's a strike. Nice sunny and warm day here in Cleveland, Tennessee. We're expected to get up to 83 today, currently 78 degrees. Bit of a breeze, which is not a bad thing for enjoyment, but the pitch is outside. The wind blowing dead from center field into home plate. A full count now with the payoff pitch. Swung on, lifted out toward right, and we'll do it again. Nolan Sargent waiting on deck. The payoff to Reed is fouled on the other side. Couple of fellas warming up in the Pioneer bullpen. No action in the Cougar bullpen at the moment. Here comes another 3-2 pitch from Truitt. And down on strikes goes Reed. John is retired for the first out. This is Nolan Sargent. Nolan due to break out here. He has struck out, flied out. Yesterday, he reached on an error, but then grounded out a couple of times and struck out a couple of times. So this Pioneers pitching staff has been able to handle Sargent thus far this weekend. Nolan leading the TCCAA in home runs. He's also fourth in batting average and third in RBIs in the conference. Three balls and one strike to the Cougars' second baseman. Nolan way in the back of that batter's box. His left foot right on the line. And he works a walk. So he reaches base, and the designated hitter, Evan Leonard, now the batter. Evan from Clarksville. That is crushed and lands at the base of the wall for a go-ahead triple. That may have been kept from going out of here by that breeze that's coming in from center field. As Evan totally smashed that ball. Nelson McKnight, the batter now. Still only one out with Evan Leonard at third. McKnight, he's had a couple of strikeouts here today, so he is due to break out, the cleanup hitter. Stands in there on that inside pitch. One and two now to the Cougars cleanup hitter and first baseman Nelson McKnight. Quade Carver, the third baseman. He is waiting on deck. Truitt now from the stretch, delivers the 1-2. Lifted out to right field, drifting back and back and back, but not able to make the catch. Leonard scores, he crosses the plate. It's an RBI double as Nelson McKnight does break out after a couple of strikeouts for an RBI double to make it 5-3 Cougars. The wind may have batted that ball down as well. The last two batters really getting some mustard on the ball. Here is Quade Carver, the third baseman. He struck out last time, walked his first time up. And a nice play by Lorenz. Scoops it up, fires it over to first to get Carver 2 down. McKnight does advance over to third. Hank Adams, the batter. He grounded out to short his first at bat. Or second at bat. He bunted his way on in his first at bat. That little end of the bat dribble. And he beats it out. Adams is able to keep the inning alive with the infield single. And McKnight crosses the plate for the 6th run. 2-out damage here. Coach McGuire not so sure about that safe call at first for Adams. That was a slow roller. Tough play for Harris at second as he charged and came in. Pretty much did all he could. Jordan Smith, the batter, the catcher. Jordan has walked and struck out today. Inside pitch missing. 2-0. Riley Mahan, the Cougar right fielder, waits on deck. Missing outside. There were a couple of fellows warming up in the Pioneer bullpen. They look like they're ready to come in if need be. The 3-0. Just misses outside. That's the second walk for Smith, and we do appear to have a pitching change coming as Coach McGuire steps out and takes the ball from Truitt. Jake Truitt had a pretty good run, but the Cougars have gotten to him a bit here with these last couple of batters, and then Truitt gives up the walk. So Coach McGuire is seeing enough. Coming in now, a young man we saw yesterday. That would be Brady Davis, number 23, 5'11" sophomore, Clarksville, Tennessee is his hometown. Brady comes in with a 6.48 average today, a 3-1 record. This will be his 13th appearance. Coach McGuire goes to him a lot. (16 2/3 innings), and he has struck out 20 batters in that 16 2/3 innings. So he just gets a couple of tosses before Riley Mahan steps up to the plate. Riley, the right fielder, he's grounded out and reached on an error. Riley batting .237 on the season. 9 RBIs, 3 of those 9 via the home run. From the stretch with 2 runners on, Davis delivers the 1-0, and it's lifted out to shallow center, and coming all the way in. He was playing fairly deep too, is Rice, who makes the catch in shallow center field. But the damage done as the Cougars push 3 across to go ahead 6-3. Braden Suggs still on the mound for the Cougars, as we will get the top of the 6th inning underway here momentarily on the Game Time Sports Network. Easton Denning is the batter as he looks at a first pitch strike. Easton had a rough go of things yesterday in the early portion of the game. Then the guy just started crushing the ball. There's a little didn't mean to swing that is foul. Easton, he struck out his first 2 times yesterday. Then he doubled and singled twice and hitting the ball hard. He's a big, strong young man. That pitch up and away. He's listed at 6'3", 215 from McMinnville. Warren County High alum. And fisted that one, but he is so strong. He managed to get it out past second base. He hit that off his hands and still managed to muscle it out to shallow center for a base hit. He's got a homer to his credit today. The cleanup hitter did clean up in his last at bat. Second blast of the day. Hunt. That makes it a. The cleanup hitter. Still nobody out for Tucker Smith, the Pioneers' third baseman. That's the strike to make it 1-1. A bit of stirring in the bullpen for the Cougars now. That over to Reed. John makes a heck of a throw. That from deep in the hole, showing off his arm. Nice play from John Reed for the first out. Noah Rice, the batter. First pitch swinging, and that's a fair ball. And he slides into second with a 1-out double. The batter. With a run. Gabe, who's had a single today, out to right field. He'll step in. He also reached on an error. And the first pitch strike from Suggs. And it looks like Torrey Robinson is warming up in the Cougar bullpen. The pitch from Suggs is outside. A 1-1 count now to the designated hitter, Gabe Eddington. Tucker Lorenz waits on deck. That's scooped up at third, and the play is made by Carver for the second out. Tucker Lorenz. He, the shortstop. And with that open stance, steps into the batter's box from the left-hand side. Hit to Sargent. He scoops and delivers to McKnight for the third out. But another blast from the right fielder, Hudson Blank. His second homer of the day pulls the Pioneers to within one as we make our way to the top of the seventh inning. So this is a doubleheader day, 2 7-inning games. So the bottom of the sixth coming up. And the Cougars will certainly want to add some here. Can't feel comfortable with just a 1-run lead. So you're hoping that maybe you can push a couple more across here in the bottom of the sixth, then hold them in the seventh, and come away with the victory. Jay Harper, Game Time Sports Network. We will have the second game for you. It is scheduled to begin at 2 p.m. That's not going to happen. They rarely do the second games come off on time in these 7-inning doubleheader days. That's provided there are no 10-run rule games or what have you, but we will have that game for you. You can find it where you found this one. Nate Severance, the center fielder and the number 9 hitter, begins things here in the bottom of the sixth inning for Cleveland State. Still say Nate's got, he wins the beard contest here today. He's got a dandy going there. The breaking ball, he stands in there for it, and it misses from the pitcher. Again, this is still Brady Davis, the sophomore from Clarksville. And another roundhouse curve that doesn't do much. It misses. Found the inside corner on that. 2-1. We'll be back to the top of the order with John Reed, who waits on deck. And dropping down a bunt that goes foul. I believe Nate had already run to the gym. When he bunted that, he took off, kept going. And that gets past third. Hugging the third baseline is Nate Severance, who reaches for a double. A good way to get the inning started and get the top of the order up now with John Reed, who has walked, struck out, and then hit that home run. From the stretch now with Severance on second. You can see him dancing around there. Number 1, and they almost pick him off. Some here in the crowd agreeing with the safe call. It was close. Oh, and John gets popped on the head. He shook his head real quick and jogs down to first base. Nolan Sargent. Nolan is due, man, and boy, now would be a fine time. He struck out, flied out to left, and walked. Swinging at the first pitch, fouling it back. You can see these Pioneer pitchers, they do, you can see them rear back. They know who's standing in the batter's box. That is a balk. So down to third goes Severance, and down to second goes John Reed. So you're hoping that Severance can get a hold of something here, or at the very least get it out of the infield. As he fouls that back now, he finds himself at 0-2. With two runners on, the 0-2 pitch now. That came close to hitting him. Nolan standing in there, wasn't going to bail. The Cougars looking for insurance here with this slim one-run lead. Sargent's timing just seems to be off a hair, just a hair. And foul the other way, getting around early on that. One ball, two strikes to this power hitting second baseman. At only 5'9", generates his power with that bat speed. Setting up outside is Menendez. Bat lifted to left field. And a nice catch made, a sliding catch, but Severance is able to tag up. Baker making a nice play there to at least get the out. And tagging, though, is Severance. They needed that extra run. Reed stays put at second base. The batter now is Evan Leonard. And the off-speed pitch, Evan out in front of it. Strike one. And out in front again, fooling him, yeah. Threw that change up the first time and threw it again. 0-2 now to Evan Leonard, the designated hitter here in game one. Brady Davis has gone 0-2 on Leonard, and Sargent before him, the batter that just had the sac fly. From the stretch, the pitch from Davis is outside. John Reed for the Cougars at second base. The pitch is outside. Menendez corralling that. We go full now on Evan Leonard. Nelson McKnight, the batter, waiting on deck. The cleanup hitter for the Cougars. Down on strikes as Leonard is retired. That ought to be that changeup. Evan just couldn't figure that one out. 2 down for McKnight. Nelson with an RBI double. His last at bat, he needed that. Had a couple of strikeouts before. The fastball up high. Quade Carver, the on-deck batter, hoping that McKnight can keep this inning going. Good pitch. McKnight asking the ump, outside corner. The ump saying, yep. Fouling it back. That is absolutely demolished. A 2-run blast. Nelson McKnight, the cleanup hitter, cleaning up sure enough. As he crosses the plate to make it a 9-5 ball game. A 2-out, 2-run. There was no doubt. As soon as that left his bat, Blank out in right field, just kind of stand there. He knew, man. Quade Carver. Quade has grounded out, walked, and struck out. 2-2 count on him. Quade was hoping McKnight could keep the inning going, and yeah, he did that. Well, the inning's over now as Quade goes down on strikes. But a blast from McKnight puts the Cougars on top by 4 runs. Let's see who walks out to the mound. We did have some activity with Torrey Robinson warming up earlier, and he is indeed making his way to the mound for the Cougars. He will work to close this one out. Let's give you some stats on Mr. Robinson. This will be his 12th appearance. Opposing hitters batting only 179 on him. He's got 11 2/3 innings to his credit this season. He has struck out 18 in those 11 2/3. However, he has walked 11. A 2-1 record on the year. Throws extremely hard, even though he's not that big a guy, 5'10". Atlanta, Georgia, his hometown. a left-handed freshman fireballer. And it's not unusual for young pitchers to be able to get their strikeout totals up there, but their walk totals may be a little higher than you'd like as well. Just trying to harness that power and work on their control. J.C. Menendez will be the first batter that Robinson will face in the top of the 7th. And the top of the order, Braden Baker, will be the next batter up. But Menendez steps in. He had a single to left field. First pitch, fastball is high. Two and out. Trying to find the plate. Trying to get that adrenaline channeled here. 3-0. Gets the outside corner call. Good fastball from Robinson. He does throw some heat. He loses him. So it's a leadoff walk. And the top of the order. Now walking up to the plate, Braden Baker. And we're going to have a pinch runner for the catcher, Menendez. Once I'm able to determine who that is, I will let you know. From the stretch now, the first pitch to Baker is low. The pinch runner appears to be Revan Suggs from Greenbrier, Tennessee. And swinging through the fastball for a strike. Elijah Harris, the second baseman, waiting on deck. The 1-1 coming now from the left-handed fireballer, Torrey Robinson. Change speeds there, but missed the plate. 2-1. Nice fastball, 2-2. Looking for a ground ball here. Perhaps turn that double play. That pitch low. On the Pioneers leadoff hitter, Braden Baker. who is singled to right and to left here in this first game of the doubleheader. And the line out, a play from Carver. That was a hot shot from Baker as Carver snagged it and then fires to first for the double play. So while you get one the hard way in one respect, 2 down for Elijah Harris. He lifts it out to far right center, but not far enough as Nate Severance comes through to make the catch. And that is your final. As the Cougars are able to come through with 3 runs in the last 2 innings, the 6th and the 7th, to come away with a 9-5 win in game number 1. So we've got more baseball for you here today. We invite you to stick with us. Come on back for game